Greetings, Cowboys fans. In today's video, I bring you a lot of updates, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It's always great to dive back into analyzing the Cowboys team. Today, we're going to evaluate the team's draft picks. Plus, we'll offer an overview of the decisions that could have been made if we were in charge of the organization. Get ready for even more Cowboys content in upcoming videos because, although the draft has concluded, this is just the beginning. It's crucial to stay updated on the developments that will be revealed in the near future. As usual, all 32 teams received grades, and unsurprisingly, the only team to earn an A+ was the Browns, thanks to their selection of Shedeur Sanders. When analyzing the Cowboys, several key needs were highlighted: running back, wide receiver, and cornerback. The grade given to the Cowboys was slightly higher than last year's. During the evaluation, it was clear that the team had several directions they could have pursued, especially on the defensive line, where they lost significant depth with the departures of Tank Lawrence and John Gostin. They could have drafted a guard to replace future Hall of Famer Zach Martin, who retired, or picked a tackle to foster competition between Tyler Jeter and Terrence Steele. There was also the option of selecting a playmaker to boost an offense that desperately needs a true number 2 receiver alongside CeeDee Lamb, or an impact running back. Initially, selecting Marion Hampton could have been a plausible alternative, but that didn't happen. With the top wide receivers off the board, the Cowboys opted for Tyler Booker to fill Martin's absence. More details and analysis on Booker will be shared soon. What are your thoughts on this pick? Do you agree with the selection of Tyler Booker? This will be the central topic of today's conversation, so feel free to share your opinions. The Cowboys made a more conservative move by picking Tyler Booker, who could replace Martin. There will be more discussion about Booker and different opinions regarding this decision. But what are your thoughts? Do you support the selection of Tyler Booker? Even after some time, this remains a major talking point among fans. The comment section is open for you to share your thoughts, whether positive or negative. That's all part of the democratic spirit. So, are you on board with the Booker pick? Yes or no? Personally, I was moderately satisfied with it, as we'll discuss. Later, it wasn't the exact pick I would have made. It became clear that the Cowboys were targeting Ted Rowan McMillan, but ultimately missed out. This raises the question: does the value of a guard justify a 12th overall pick? Mel also addressed this clearly, saying, "Look, I like Booker as a player. He's my top-rated guard. I just don't like the value at pick 12. I brought this up on Thursday night, mentioning that I would have preferred a trade down to acquire more assets to help a roster in need. The Cowboys' ownership likely doesn't care about draft value if Booker becomes a multiple-time Pro Bowler. But value matters when assessing an entire draft class. I understand Mel's point, and I would add that the Cowboys probably didn't receive enticing enough trade offers to justify moving down. The reported offer from the Texans was simply not adequate. My concern isn't so much that they didn't address a need, which was a common theme this year, but that I didn't have Booker ranked as the best available player. That's a significant consideration. It seems to reflect a flaw in the off-season strategy, especially the failure to address the need for a standout number 2 wide receiver. Although the off-season isn't over, and we'll discuss this more in today's live session, I doubt anyone would have been unhappy with Matthew Golden, who I rated higher than Booker. The Cowboys clearly had a different opinion, and I'll give them credit for sticking to their draft plan instead of reaching for need, which historically causes more problems. What was your favorite Cowboys draft pick this year? Matthew Golden was rated higher than Booker on my board, so again, I'll acknowledge that the Cowboys stayed true to their plan and avoided forcing a positional need, something that often backfires. Now, what was your favorite Cowboys pick in this year's draft? Leave your thoughts in the comments section. Personally, I was very impressed with what they did on day 2 because they picked pure value. They didn't necessarily take the top players on my list, but by ignoring medical and character red flags and not prioritizing non-urgent positions like tight end or quarterback, I really appreciated the selections of Ezra and Savon Rebel. It's been a long time since the Cowboys simply picked the best player or one of the top 3 players available on my board, and that's exactly what happened. Mel Green noted that he liked what the Cowboys did on day 2, by adding edge rusher Rashad Donovan Ezrao and safety Savone Rebel Jr., both of whom could have been first-round picks under different circumstances, or in Savone's case, had he not been injured. They have a real chance to become early starters for a Dallas defense undergoing major changes. Ezrao can help fans move on from Lawrence, whose time with the team ended abruptly. Ezrao ranked in my top 30 players overall, just 4 spots below Tyler Booker. He was number 20 on my board and the 6th best edge rusher. Will Johnson and Mike Green were ranked higher, but medical issues caused Ezrao to slip. Savone Rebel, on the other hand, was number 38 on my list, and only one safety ranked higher when the Cowboys picked him. That selection felt like a steal for Dallas, even in the 3rd round. I would have been perfectly happy with him. In the 2nd round, I would have said, great, you got a potential long-term starter in the 3rd round. That's a win in my book. I also wanted to mention Jaden Blue specifically before we revisit some of the other day 3 picks. Jaden Blue was selected in the 5th round at pick 149. If you watched our live show, you'll remember I said there were about 5 or 6 running backs I'd rated higher than the player the Cowboys took. Throughout day 3, we discussed how the team finally grabbed a running back, but there were others ranked higher at that point. Also, the team didn't trade picks to grab this running back. The trade was made for a defensive lineman selected 2 picks later. To clarify, the running back wasn't involved in the trade. The team had a higher grade on another prospect and even hosted this running back on a visit, but chose not to draft him. There's uncertainty about whether the visit didn't go well. Another player was graded higher too, but overall this pick is seen as a positive, especially because the Cowboys needed someone capable of producing big plays, and this running back brings that ability. In the end, the other prospects weren't far ahead in evaluations, so it's a solid pick for a team needing a game changer at the position. As for some other notable day 3 picks, another running back was added to an already crowded depth group, but competition is viewed positively. A defensive lineman was also selected, someone who could help limit opponents' rushing success. The team went back to a philosophy of picking sturdy athletes. There were 1 or 2 defensive tackles ranked slightly ahead of Toya, but the difference was minor. He was selected at pick 192 and had been projected as a 6th rounder, though he ended up going in the 5th. When analyzing the defensive line, it's crucial to focus on sturdy players. Maybe 1 or 2 defensive tackles were slightly ahead of Toya, but the difference was minimal. Weighing 272 pounds now after being listed at 192, he received a 6th round grade. Whether he was picked in the 5th or 6th round doesn't change the fact that he's a solid football player. The debate about 5th or 6th round value is minor. The roster is a bit crowded with Phil Maffa and others competing for spots, but it's not overwhelmingly stacked. Maffa wasn't highly rated, and he received a 7th round grade where he was selected. Toya was also viewed as a 7th round talent, and he wouldn't be graded below a C. The overall draft class grade was a B+, while another source graded it as a B. The conclusion is that this is a solid, although not particularly exciting draft. Class. Had the team landed Tedder McMillan in the 1st round, the class likely would have been considered an A. Unfortunately, that opportunity didn't materialize. Next, we'll discuss what could have been done differently with this class. But first, your opinions are welcome. How would you grade the Cowboys 2025 NFL draft class? A, B, C, D, or F? Feel free to express your views in the comments section. The plan is to continue doing this every year because it builds credibility. And if necessary, past evaluations can always be critiqued. Many fans were hoping for Tedder McMillan, and while not everyone shared that hope, a significant portion did. The best graded player still available at the time was Tyler Warren, so if the Cowboys had strictly followed the board, the Penn State tight end would have been the pick. Perhaps that would have been a move but before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In a surprising revelation that has caught the attention of both Cowboys fans and NFL analysts, Dak Prescott, the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, has voiced his discontent with the team's offensive coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer. Prescott, who has been the face of the Cowboys offense for several seasons, stated that he no longer wishes to be coached by Schottenheimer, a move that raises questions about the internal dynamics of the Cowboys locker room and the team's future direction. While Prescott's relationship with Schottenheimer has long been under scrutiny, this public statement marks a significant shift in how the quarterback views his role within the organization. Prescott, known for his leadership and poise, is usually quite reserved when it comes to discussing internal team matters. However, in an exclusive interview with reporters, he made it clear that the current situation was untenable. I've been a part of this team for a long time, and at this point, I feel it's time for a change, Prescott said. The way things are going isn't working for me, and I have to make it clear that I can't continue under these conditions. Prescott's discontent seems to stem from a combination of factors, including differences in offensive philosophy and communication styles between him and Schottenheimer. Throughout the past season, critics have pointed to the Cowboys' lackluster offensive performance, particularly in crucial moments, as a sign that the team's offensive strategy was not producing the desired results. Despite having a talented roster, including star running back Ezekiel Elliott and wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, the Cowboys' offense has often faltered when it mattered most. Schottenheimer, who took over as offensive coordinator for the Cowboys in 2023, has been working to implement his system, but the results have been less than stellar. The team's inability to consistently produce offensive fireworks, especially in high-stakes games, has led many to question whether Schottenheimer's style is the right fit for Prescott's skill set. The veteran quarterback has always thrived in a system that emphasizes rhythm and quick decision-making, two aspects that seem to be lacking under Schottenheimer's approach. This rift is a significant development for the Cowboys, a franchise that has been searching for consistency at the quarterback position for decades. Prescott, who signed a massive contract extension in 2021, is the team's cornerstone player, and his frustration with the coaching staff could have long-term implications for the organization. Whether this disagreement will result in a change in coaching staff or a shift in offensive strategy remains to be seen. The Cowboys front office, led by Jerry Jones, has yet to comment on Prescott's statements, but it is clear that this issue will need to be addressed in the coming weeks. The situation also raises questions about the future of Schottenheimer, whose tenure in Dallas could be at risk if the team's offensive struggles continue. With the NFL season fast approaching, the Cowboys find themselves at a crossroads, forced to confront a potentially significant conflict between their star quarterback and their offensive coordinator. How they navigate this situation will be crucial for the success of the team moving forward. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.